Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Secret Empire, issue number 2. Guys, this keeps getting crazier and crazier as the issues continue on. We're only at 2. Only at 2, and I don't know what to think anymore. The reveal at the end of this, guys. We start off first off with the guys, the heroes in LA cleaning up after the battle. They don't waste time getting into the battle itself because what's the point? I mean, Steve Rogers sent enemies to go after his enemies. He sent machines, Hydra machines, to go after these heroes. Of course, they were going to win. If these particular machines wouldn't have won, something else would have won instead. So it's a hard hitting. You know that whatever Steve wants to happen happens. If he wants you defeated, you'll be defeated. If he wants you dead, you'll be dead. If he wants you guys to walk around with a light bulb shoved up your butt, you know what's going to happen? For once, a miraculously light will shine where the sun usually doesn't shine, because that's Steve Rogers. He's the greatest military tactician, strategist ever, and what he wants, when he wants it, will actually get done. And there are no kitty gloves on right now. So we get to see that these guys are really wrecked. And I mean, it hits everybody hard. The idea of just the demoralization, and what a great way to win your battle. You're going to win a battle of attrition. You have to just demoralize the hell out of your enemy, and this is the way to do it. At the same time, we also initially start off with a little bit of humor. We see Power Man and Iron Fist, and we get to see that they're actually denizens of this Dark Force dimension. Now, again, this is the Dark Force dimension, not the Dark dimension. Some of you might be sick of hearing me say that. Others, it may be their first time hearing it. So let's try and have it, both ways if we can, guys. But there are actually creatures here, and when there's no light, man, these things, they come out and they just go at you. And I love this. I absolutely love that. I've been reading comics for years, and all I ever remember specifically reading about the Dark Force dimension is that, unlike the Dark dimension, nothing lives here necessarily. It's just a permeating darkness, and not just one that blinds you, one that suffocates you. And now to see that there are actually creatures here also, I don't have any problem with this at all. Plus, they are drawn gorgeously. So these guys do what they can to win. They beat up who they got to beat up, and then they get the heck out of Dodge. You go back, and there's Claire Temple, the main night nurse, and she's trying to help people, but they weren't able to get any penicillin. Now, the Kingpin was able to get his hands on some penicillin because that's what he does. And I thought that this was actually going to be bad because I'm reading the Kingpin series right now, and he's trying to be a good guy. So something like this, you'd figure, okay, this would change up, this would flip the script a little bit. Well, he is still who he is, but he is also still the good guy. And he snaps the neck of this one guy who's trying to hustle everybody. And he says to the people there, he says, I will provide you food. I will provide you with medicine. I will provide you with security. And he says, the only thing that I ask in return is that when this is over, you remember who helped you. Oh man, that is the freaking Kingpin in and out. I love it. Guys, Nick Spencer should write every single Marvel comic. That doesn't mean to be disparaging. I love so many of the Marvel writers. I love them. But like, for one guy who relatively hasn't been here that long, you could tell he's a fan of every single one of these characters. Now, the light comes on and off once in a while because Dagger. I told you that Cloak and Dagger were going to have a huge part of this. I believe that Cloak is going to be the main reason why they're able to get out. Obviously, Doctor Strange is going to have something to do with that also. But right now, Dagger, Tandy Brown, can't wait for that series to come out. Don't forget to check out my Cloak and Dagger Explained in a minute. Guys, Tandy Bowen Dagger is causing light. She's emitting her light. Now, when this first started, she was able to go up to 12 hours a day. Now, she's lucky if she can belt out 4. So she is clearly losing energy, and they are being demoralized. They are losing sleep. They're running out of food. They're running out of potable water. They're out of most drugs and medicines, and Hep A is going all over the place because of the filthy conditions. People are going to start getting dysentery. I think they said that they were getting typhoid. I mean, like, things are really bad right now for the heroes, and they're talking about going out and killing Steve Rogers. Now, they find a video that was sent by Rick Jones. So he's kind of speaking from the dead a little bit here. And he got his hands on a cell phone. We remember how this happened. Captain America indicated how this happened. And he sent out this transmission where he explains exactly what happened to Captain America, Steve Rogers. So now they know exactly what's going on. Black Widow is still of the opinion that, hey, we need to go and kill him. Why? Because he would want us to kill him. If he knew, if we could go back and explain to the real him what was happening to him, he would beg us to kill him. Meanwhile, Hawkeye is saying, no, I'm drawing the line in the sand. Now she says, if you didn't kill the Hulk, would that be the case? Yes, that would absolutely be the case. You want to know why? He divorced Mockingbird because she killed her rapist. Just to give you an idea, he's very much against killing. So yes, he did kill the Hulk. That took a lot out of him, and it made him go off and do the Occupy Avengers comic on his own with Red Wolf. But I mean, yes, Hawkeye has always been stringently against killing, more than most people. He's been against killing. So once again, Nick Spencer, spot on with every one of these characters. At one point, Hawkeye is talking to Black Widow, and, there's a little bit of kissy action going on. He says, whoa, for a moment there, I thought that you were going to do your sedative lipstick. She says, I wouldn't disrespect you like that. And she cold clocks him right in the jaw and knocks him unconscious for a bit, and she leaves. She goes out. Now, Ultimate Spider-Man was listening as he goes and explains what happened. She goes out, oh yeah, and she's on her own, and she's trying to do her thing, but Ultimate Spider-Man shows up, and like I said, he points out, I'm the one who's supposed to, we've seen the future, I'm the one who's supposed to kill Cap. So let's just get this over with. If that's the way it's got to be, let's just get the hell over with, because I'm tired of running from my destiny. She says, no, it's not going to happen. I don't need a sidekick. And all of a sudden, a whole other team shows up, including the totally awesome Hulk. And they, point out, it's like, okay, well, you don't need a sidekick. How about a team? And that's pretty badass. So all these guys are getting ready to go out. And this is going to be that part of Uprising. Black Widow, that comic where Black Widow is in charge of a team going out to try and take out these bad guys. Now, there's another team that's formed also, and I was wondering why 3 of these 4 guys were in red before. Now I understand a lot better. It's Quicksilver and Mockingbird. She's going to be the leader of the team. She's the only one with her head on the right shoulders. There's Ant-Man, Scott Lang, and there's Hercules. And these 4 are going to go out and they're going to try and get these 8 shards of the fragments of the Cosmic Cube. Now, that's cool and all, and I was wondering, wait a second, why would Quicksilver be on here? And I read it as I started to realize, wait a second, of course, Scarlet Witch is on the evil Avengers, the Dark Reign version of the Avengers right now. So a whole bunch of really crazy, wild, wacky stuff goes on. Some girl is being attacked by a version of the Serpent Society, and then a hero comes up. This girl is actually getting belted. She's getting beaten up. Like, her nose is split, her lip is busted open. I mean, this girl is in worse for wear shape. These guys were actually just planning on murdering her for no good reason except sport. And the hero turns out who beats the snot out of the Serpent Society is actually used to beating up the Serpent Society. It's Steve Rogers. No, not that Steve Rogers. This is a very scruffy Steve Rogers who has a huge beard and mustache, and he's got World War I looking fatigues on and ripped clothes, and it says to be continued. But he says, my name is Steve Rogers. I'm just trying to get home. Guys, there are so many theories running through my head right now. This comic gets an A+, and if I could go higher, I swear I would. This is so intense. This is literally, I'm on the edge of my seat reading this comic book. I don't know if I could get any more excited about what I'm reading without actually having an aneurysm, like just blood vessels exploding in my head, because this is so intense. Wow, I'm literally just going to be repeating myself how edge of the seat I am. Guys, this is, I know I complain about Marvel always being a little bit too expensive. Guess what? This comic book, what did I buy this for? I had to convert it for $5. You know what? Honestly, this is the first time in a long time that I read a comic book, a Marvel comic book, and I said, whatever, it's a good comic, whatever, but I'm upset about the price. No. Even though I have to convert this to Canadian. Guys, this is so worth the money. It is so worth the money. This is an amazing storyline. Absolutely amazing. If you're not on this, guys, if you're within the sound of my voice, if you're listening to this video, anything, you really need to be picking this up, because later on, I don't foresee these comics being in the dollar bin. I know a lot of people are thinking I'll just pick them up in the dollar bin later on. These are not going in the dollar bin. These are all going to be immediately put up for collection at some point, because These are amazing comic books. I'm actually kind of upset that these didn't come with lenticular color covers of some sort. I'm not interested in, I very rarely come into interest for variant covers, but this is going to be something amazing, guys. Anyway, gushing time over. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.